like years ago, I remember when I was teaching in self-defense, and I would be frustrated with people not being willing to put in the time. Somebody saying to me, look, we're in the age of the smartphone. If you have a problem, you download an app and the app fixes it.
Yeah.
They think that they're coming to a one-day seminar and they're going to be fucking super ninjas for life. But they really thought that, and not kids, adults. I was like, what the fuck do you think? Like, you could do 10 years training and still get battered. It was crazy. But it's where then reality is skewed to condition people who, many of whom are just not that bright. Not everybody's gifted with a with a strong IQ. They go, ugh, me want pizza, me have. Me want goal, me get. Me want whatever, me get it. And then it's like, okay, here's a nuanced situation that requires some analysis, and it's going to be a little bit boring, and it's going to take effort, and they go, fuck you. Me not want.
Where's up?
What is up? Give up. Download.
What is up?
Fix. So that is another element of conditioning that I think has a massively negative impact.
That's childlike. That's a spoiled brat.
It's infantile. And look at us.
I want it now.
Look at us. Look at us. What is our problem in politics, in sport, in industry, in name a field? I want it now.
I'm right, you're wrong.
I'm right, you're wrong. My entitlement trait has gone up. My humility has shrunk. Nobody's humble. Yeah. Humility is like, what are you, a fucking idiot? Why would you be humble? Why would you be self-aware? Demand what you want now. Complain, whinge, shout, scream, tantrum. That's what gets the results.
And then tell everybody about it.
And then tell everybody about
Get
it.
attention for it.
And get attention for it afterwards. So you have a primary gain, secondary gain, tertiary gain. And then what's the side effect of all that? Victimhood culture has exploded.
Me too.
Which is one example of a whole movement in a wrong direction towards it is being done to me. I did not do it. It is being done to me. What do they call that in psychology? An externalized locus of control. What is an externalized locus of control associated with narcissistic personality disorder? It's not my fault. Yeah. It's you. It's that red car. It's the sky. It's the government. It's never me.
Yeah.
Infantile responses. If everybody's personality traits shift across, we are in this country 60 million people, America 330 million people. Say your personality traits shift a little and mine a little because we do a particular thing every day. No big deal. But when it's a whole fucking country, and you can, I would stake my life on this, that we could do psychological research and it would prove self-awareness, self-restraint and humility have definitely shrunk significantly. Now, the word significantly in psychology, when we're talking statistics, only means to within a significant number. But when you're talking about minor shifts in humility, patience and tolerance across 330 million or 60 million people, it's a big fucking difference.
It's just, so in that sense, it's significant in the fact that we all behave in a certain way, and the structure of our society is completely different. So it's significant. That's the significance. The fallout from it is significant, that we live in a far more infantile, narcissistic place than maybe we did even 20 years ago.
I think less. I think 5 years ago.
Do you think that?
Absolutely. I think particularly, I would say what I notice is the difference between 2010, 2009, and there is something that we hadn't discussed in the first documentary, which was the financial crash of 2008.
Yeah.
And that has had a massive impact on all of this, and I think it's accelerated it because we still live in the aftershocks of this unprecedented financial disaster that was global. It made people feel like there was less money on the table, that like there was less resources to go for, and like rats trapped inside of an overcrowded space with diminishing food source. What happens? Trait aggression goes through the fucking roof. Trait depression also goes through the roof, because if you're not the rat that can compete, you're the rat that's going to starve. What do we have? Depressed rats, aggressive rats, anxious rats, rats who there was an experiment called Rat City, and it goes into this in greater depth. It was done in the 50s, I think.
And so
these traits across huge numbers of people become extremely problematic. I where the Brave New World element kicks in. The phone is a drug. When I was talking to Sam about it yesterday, he's absolutely right. It's a highly addictive, highly poisonous drug, and in the Brave New World sense, to combine it with the 1984, it's soma. It's soma. It makes you feel good, or it makes you feel nothing. It's a numbing agent. Oh, life is stressful. We're overpopulated. We're destroying the environment. Surely we're going to be heading towards the zombie apocalypse. But I feel okay. So you know. So yeah, anesthetize your kids, anesthetize yourself. It's legal, it's easy accessible, it's so socially acceptable now to just walk around with your fucking head in the phone.
Yep.
If you were walking around with a syringe hanging out of you, people would look at you a bit funny. But if you want to have your head stuck in the phone all day and numb out on that, that's totally socially acceptable.
Even in that you point out is that when we used to, not that long ago, if someone walked down the road with their head in their phone, you'd walk into them. You wouldn't get out of the way, but now you will get out of the way because it's oh no, it's right, they're on their phone.
Well, you're on your
phone.
Hang
on a minute.
So you only see them peripherally.
You're not doing this. Yeah, but how are none of us hitting each other? Weird, isn't it?
I actually had this shameful experience just before I was testing the Wi-Fi of where we need to shoot on Saturday, and I went outside the building. But I was testing the Wi-Fi. I was doing it for a reason of me and some woman. She was also like this. We nearly walked into each other. These fucking phones, man.
It's madness. It really is madness.
But there's another example of I needed my smartphone to do a job.
But to do a job, that's different, isn't it? I need my smartphone to answer emails.
Yes,
but
I suppose so.
That's tech. It's a little bit different to what we're saying in social media. Is I need to go and I need to feel better by posting pictures on social media.
Yes.
That's a different I think that's the makeup level.
I appreciate you're working hard to not just say narcissism. I appreciate that you're going around to because neither of us want to just go, it's narcissism. It's just narcissism. But actually, like if your primary purpose of being on there is likes and followers, that is the digital glowing pixel equivalent of narcissistic supply. 100%. It's just where all of us now, either high functioning or low functioning narcissists in the world of social media. There's no such thing as not a narcissist. And narcissism is like, is passe. Narcissism is cute, it's quaint. Everybody's a fucking narcissist now. Psychopathy. That's the next level.
That's the next level.
And that's what I'm seeing coming with the social media.
Yeah. And that's the scary thing, isn't it? That's the scary thing when someone goes to shoot up a school like in New Zealand recently and they blame it on Fortnite.
Yeah.
And it was a manifesto apparently, right? Well, I've seen it. I mean, that's been happening on and off for years, but that is the next level, isn't it? Psychopathy. So what does the next generation? So when we're old and we've got there's grandkids running around, are they going to be psychopaths?
I think.
Is it going to be that soon?
We're due for one of two things. We're due for either a violent societal change through a virus, through natural catastrophe, through war, and that will depopulate people and it'll give people a chance to rethink and just go, okay, maybe the way we were living wasn't leading anywhere good. The only other option I can see is a religious revival, a full, total religious revival, where people will turn to a new ideology in order to get fulfilled and to avoid the poison that they're facing now.
Would that be a big brother? What would that religion be? Would it be a religion for the good or a religion for the can I bury my head in the sand? It would just make me, do you know what I mean?
In both of those scenarios, I am moderately pessimistic. I think if there is a natural disaster or a war that creates a new model society, I think the new model society will be way more totalitarian than this. Because if we can knock it down and start again, we will go, look at what liberal values did. Look at what rampant consumerism did. It destroyed our mental health. We can't stop this now because how do you stop what we have? The momentum is there. There's no political will for it. There's no backing for it. Everybody's in the pockets of big corporations and big pharma, and that's not a conspiracy theory, that's verifiable fact. The corporations bought government, the Western government, fucking years ago. They won't do anything that they haven't been told to do by their puppet masters. What can you do? You have to kill them all. They would have to die in huge numbers, either in a virus, a super virus, or in a war. I don't know why this man is doing what he's doing. He's probably on his phone. He's probably updating his Facebook.
Probably watching you on YouTube.
He's dying to be seen. He's
He is.
dying
He's-
to be seen.
He's going to die and be seen
And
dead.
be seen dead. We'll take pictures of him and upload them. So yeah, there is you need that, and then in the post-apocalyptic world, I think it will be way more totalitarian, invasive, to make sure we don't make the same mistakes again. In a religious revival, it will be like either hardline Islam or fundamentalist Christianity.
Yeah.
God is here and he is watching you, and you are a man and this is your role, and you will, and thou shalt, and thou shalt not, and it will be enforced. It will be church and state combined.
So that is a Big Brother type totalitarian.
100%.
Fighting of your right, not just your freedoms, but what you're not afraid, you're comfortable to do. You
Look,
won't do things you'll be too afraid to.
Yeah, well,
You're terrified to.
that's right. You can apply the, I think it's the dialectic to it. It's a problem, reaction, solution. David Icke talks about this quite a lot. What is the problem we face? What is the action that the people will demand? And what is the solution? And what the powers that be do is they start with the solution. We want people to demand that we strip them of freedom. Okay, how do you work backward so that you can make people say, please take away my freedom, I can't deal with my freedom, you take it, you have it.
Yeah.
You make freedom the enemy.
Yeah.
You say, look, we have a historical precedent now. Your children were full of eating disorders and obsessed with pornography.
When we give you your freedom.
When we give you your freedom, everybody is depressed. And listen, brother, sister, come.
Yeah.
It's not good for you to have freedom. Let the mullah, let the priest tell you how you shall live, and you will feel. And the sad thing is, I think this is an evolutionary issue. Most people would be way happier with that, and the psychological research bears it out.